Hello guys, sorry I've just got to turn this sound off. Alright, so as promised, I'm gonna jump into the Akashic Records for you guys who have asked questions. The first question, I've lost it now. So the first question is from Louise M2211. Hey Stu, would love to know if I'm on the right path in this lifetime. It's a bit of an open-ended question with just like a yes or a no answer, so I need to adjust that slightly to give you a bit more of an answer. Love to know if I'm on the right path in this lifetime. I think we're always on the right path anyway, whether it feels like it or not. It's just what our soul is choosing to learn. There's never a wrong path, but how can I add to that? I'm going to ask for you, what can Louise do to jump into her highest timeline? So I'm just going to jump into the library now. So open the book. So what can Louise do to jump into her highest timeline? A car just went by. So when I asked the question, two cars went by. And now I'm hearing take the foot off the gas. Something's busy. There's busy traffic in a certain aspect of your life. Can you add any clarity to that? So I'm getting the wind pushed I've got like a plastic sliding door, and the wind, sort of a gust of wind pushed that. So I'm getting, for me, like air is, like I always think of the tarot. So air is like the swords deck that represents your mind basically. So maybe you've got a busy mind that they're saying needs calming down, like there's a lot of traffic in your mind. So what does her highest timeline look like that's easily reachable in, let's go in the year 2026, in the new year? What can she achieve? What timeline can she jump into? What does that look like for her? And this is just a possibility, Louise. You've got to make the steps to jump into this, whatever comes through. Like if you think we've got a literally endless possibilities, but they'll show me like a probable timeline which you can achieve next year. So it's not definite. Obviously, you've got to make the steps to jump into that timeline, okay? With the decisions that you make. Seeing like an angel wing. Can you clarify the angel wing? Is that to be more connected with the angels? They're showing me, and don't be concerned about this, but they're showing me a like an image of like the typical devil in Christianity, like red and that. But to me, this is something about balance. Can you clarify this, please? Getting a really itchy ear, like left ear. So the left side for me is always like feminine energy, like it's receptive, it sort of pulls in, where masculine is very projective, pushes out. So maybe you've got to listen more. So any more clarity that we can add to that? I'm getting, I'm not feeling emotional, but I'm getting like tears in my eyes. Um, like water is always like emotional. Um, yeah, it signifies emotions. So there's something to do with your emotions here and listening. Is it is it emotional balance? It's all of a sudden got really windy to the point that things are falling over in my kitchen. Extremely windy. So there's some sort of emotional turbulence that needs balancing. Maybe you need to listen to somebody. There's something that you need to listen to with somebody that you're not quite getting, or maybe you need somebody to listen to you. I'm not quite sure, it's not very clear. So this is something that you need to figure out before you can jump onto your highest timeline. So what does the timeline look like? What does our highest timeline look like? Seeing a car, like a black car. So maybe there's going to be a journey, some sort of journey. I'm not sure if it's a holiday. Car's black as well, so to me that signifies protection. So a journey of protection. Yeah, there's something you need to protect yourself from. Can you add any more clarity to this? Showing me a mountain range. Can you show me what the mountains symbolize, please? So they're saying it's like it's not an easy journey. There's literally mountains to climb. I'm just feeling uphill. I mean, nothing in life that's worth achieving is easy, is it? Ever. But they're showing me like a sun at the end of once at the top of the mountain. On the other side of it, you're overlooking like this beautiful, like the sun shining, the sky is clear. That's beautiful, like the world's your oyster, basically. So I'm feeling there's something emotional that you need to find balance in with. You need to find balance in your emotions. I'm not sure about the thing with the ear because nothing else really came to me about that. So I'm not sure if it's you got to listen to someone or you need somebody to listen to you. Maybe it's because it's your emotions. Maybe you need somebody to listen to you. There might be something that you need to get off your chest. And and the protection thing, there's something you need to protect yourself against. Maybe there's somebody sort of draining your energy, making you emotional. Yeah, it's a tricky one because not much came to me about that, but I'm sure you'll know exactly what it is anyway. They're not really showing me a specific timeline, but they're like that image is just showing me that you've got so many possibilities open to you. The sky's your limit. So I'm going to leave that there for you, Louise. Sorry it's not a bit more specific, but um, if it's specific, it'd be too easy, wouldn't it? And they'd never really sort of like tell us much specific stuff. It's always open to interpretation. So maybe just sit with it and see what it means to you. Like you can have your own ideas in your mind. So I'm going to leave that one there, Louise. I hope it did resonate. And so the next one is, not sure how to pronounce this, but it's from Mir Carliad. Mir Carliad. You'll know, I know who you are anyway. She made the order not so long ago. From Denmark, right? Cool, there's a lot here. I'm just gonna have to choose one thing. Cool, there's a lot here. There's some good things that you've asked here. I'm going to ask how many ascended masters actually chose to reincarnate after ascending. But the thing is, like we know specific ascended masters like Kuan Yin and Saint Germain, and like Jesus as well. Yeshua was an ascended master, the Buddha. Um, So we know like the big ones, but going back all the millions of years, there's been so many ascended masters that we're not even aware of. Even in our time today, we've got people ascending and coming back, helping humanity. So I'm not sure if we're going to get anything specific on that. Maybe I should go to another question, but let me see what if a number does come up. I'm curious myself. So, how many ascended masters actually chose to reincarnate after ascending? Straight away, they're just, I'm seeing M's. So, it's millions. That's a bit frustrating. Yeah, that's a little bit too open. Like I say, there's just so many ascended masters that we're not aware of. An ascended master is just someone that's reached enlightenment, and there's just so many people that reach enlightenment in life that it's just crazy, and a lot of them decide to help humanity. What's up with the color purple? um, Spiritual psychosis, what's up with that? That's a good one. That's I'd like to know myself. So spiritual psychosis, what's up with that? Feeling a really cold energy, getting a lot of, there's a lot of built up energy. They're saying it's a lot of built up energy that we hold on to and don't release. They're showing me a tree, so it's ungrounded energy. Right now I can see someone's head, so it's like the upper chakras. So there's too much spiritual energy. So too much spiritual energy with no grounding. Is there any more you can add to that? They're showing me somebody's like from the mind just going up and up and up and up and up through the realms. Yeah, so basically with no spiritual grounding, you're just gonna become, sorry, I'm getting tickles in my throat now. So it's something to do with the throat chakra. God, that's confused me now. So what's the throat chakra have to do with it? I think they're just trying to say from the throat chakra up. I think they're just telling me to include the throat chakra. So it's the throat chakra, third eye and crown. It's just overloaded with energy. Uh, so not grounding our lower chakras can sort of can turn us too spiritual. So we need to find a balance between material and the spiritual. My throat is really pinging, like it's hard to talk. It just makes me want to cough. Do you have something to add so that we can end that? Just making my throat chakra really, it's a horrible energy, just making me almost want to cough. So what are you trying to tell me with this? Something to do with spiritual truth. So how can we end this question? How can we prevent spiritual, what was it, psychosis? By balancing all aspects. Like they're showing me the energy system, chakras, aura. I can see like an outline of a person with all their chakras lit up and their aura surrounding them. And I'm just feeling balance. So we're going to leave it there on that one. But yeah, I think that's good advice actually, just to try and stay balanced between the material and the spiritual realm. And just add in mind sort of like what I've seen in the past as well. It didn't come up now, but it's like back in the day. This is why, like early 1900s and through like to maybe the 50s, maybe 60s. I'm not quite sure, but there's a lot of like huge mental asylums, like huge stately homes that just they're just so big. There's thousands of rooms in there filled to the brim with people with psychosis, and it's because they were just too amped up in the spiritual realm. And I think spirit has learnt a lesson now as well, that not to make people too spiritual too quickly. I think we're in a sort of, I think that earth energy is very much like that now anyway. Like our spiritual abilities or our spiritual selves have been really dampened. We're not so connected as we used to be. So I think that's definitely a lot to do with it as well. Spirit has actually turned down the energy that they give us, so it's not so intense, and that's a gradual. I'm getting really like tingling on my elbow. Yeah, so they've sort of turned it right down now so that we can sort of ground the energy. We've got time to ground that energy within us. So moving on to the next question. I hope that answered that for you anyway. Sorry, I haven't really got time to answer all the questions. So QueenTup has asked, not sure how to word it correctly for the Akashic Records inquiry, but I'm very unsure about whether I'm living in the right home and location. If that's a bit too domestic for a spiritual question, no worries. It doesn't have to be spiritual. So let's see what comes up anyway. Is QueenTup living in the right home and location? I'm getting quite strongly that anywhere's the right location for you. And I can see like white light going. So this is like a healing energy that you're projecting. And I'm getting you're always in the right place, you're always in the right location where you need to be. And if that changes, it's just going to feel like a natural progression in your life, like something will happen where you have to move, and that's because they're putting you in a different location because that's where you need to be to radiate this energy. Yeah, that's actually really nice. So you'll just have a load of synchronicities that will happen in your life that tell you have to move, and like things will come to you, opportunities will come to you, and that opportunity will be the place where they want you to be. So you might have a lot of so there's healer vibes there straight away. Your this actually you should watch the video that I released. Was it yesterday? I think the day before yesterday about like video for light workers and like healers, and I think that's gonna benefit you watching that because this is similar to well, it's people like you that video was for. So yeah, have a little watch of those two. I did like a read it and then I did like a follow up when more information come. So I'm gonna move on, but thank you for your questions anyway. Um, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. It's a place in Malawi, I think. North Shore. I'm gonna butcher this word, but Kauai, Kauai Energy. It doesn't matter how it's pronounced, it's how it's spelled. And I know who you are anyway, 'cause like you've emailed me. But so what were my past three lives and what purpose am I here for in this life? Um, I need to change that. I haven't got time to jump into three lives. And I think that's a little bit too open. And believe me, there's some of our lives that we do not want to know about. And I've seen some, you're just better off not knowing unless you can um, keep a neutral mind. You gotta realise that on Earth we experience duality. So there's good and bad, there's hot and cold, there's like always two extremes and like everything in between. But up there on a soul level, they don't experience duality because you can imagine let's say like an old soul. If you're an old soul, you have done pretty much everything, good and bad. I'm not gonna, you can imagine like the bad things. I'm not gonna say it out loud. But what's that saying that comes to mind? We've been the victim, we've been the perpetrator, we've been the saint, we've been the sinner. So I'm going to rephrase this question because I don't want anything bad coming up. So, all right, can you show me one of her past lives that could benefit her in this life, in fulfilling her purpose in this life? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that because that sort of blends the two questions in. I'm seeing a black dog barking. Like the black car in the earlier question, is black is always like protective colour for me. Barking, so the dog's on guard, trying to protect itself. I don't think this was your past life. I think it's symbolic to how your past life was. So it's very um, protective. Can you elaborate on that, please? Very fiery, like it was just your way of like protecting yourself. Like rather than having a wall up, you was just very sort of vocal, which was a way of like pushing people away and keeping your distance from people because you wanted to protect yourself. Seeing like a lady, very wealthy actually. She's wearing like an amazing white. How can I describe it? Not a wedding dress. It's like a really like extravagant um, dress, like you'd see at a very expensive ball. And you're in a huge, like stately home, huge ceilings, very elegant. So I'm feeling like I think this is an image of your actual life. It doesn't feel symbolic in any way. And you've got your hand out, and I can see someone wearing a white glove, like a male figure, like holding your hand gently. Not sure if he's very sort of fiery towards this man. I'm getting like soulmate vibes that you pushed away, which I'm assuming because we've asked like how it's affecting this life, and like you might have carried that energy into this life. So I'm getting that like you might be very protective of yourself. Again, it might be symbolic. Um, at this point, it's really hard to tell. It might be literal. It might be symbolic. It usually comes to me a little bit later when it's all sunk in. I'll get like a aha, like I won't even be thinking of it. It will just like come to me. Yeah, there's nothing else to add to that. So if anything else does sort of pop up later, like a bit more clarity, I'll just add it to the message. I'll add it to a message. It might be general, like you might protect yourself, like in relationships. It might be specific. There might be like a person that you're going like carrying through lifetime like a karmic relationship where you keep pushing them away. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be someone in your family, friend. But I'm going to leave that one there. But it was a masculine energy anyway. So whether they are in this lifetime, I don't know. But they were in that lifetime. I hope that resonates anyway. Like you'll be able to figure out what it relates to more than me. Um, all right, so Seren YY8LQ. I know who you are anyway. It reminds me I've got to message you back. Right, can you see what the connection is with my current health issues and how I can improve my health? Picking up something around like stomach area. Can't work out if it's literal or if it's symbolic. If it's literal, you might have something to do with your stomach or like even like endometriosis, with your ovaries or something around that area anyway, or if it's symbolic, that's going to be something to do with a gut feeling. You might not be paying attention to. Can you elaborate on this? Seeing, can't work it out properly, but they're showing me like grass. There's grass, like looking from above. There's something black there. I can't see it, but I'm feeling lawnmower. Lawnmowers coming to mind, but I can't see it. It's blanked out. It's like a black blur. I'm hearing lawnmower. So this is definitely symbolic. Cutting the grass. Um, Something was allowed to get too long. So maybe went a long time without getting whatever the problem is diagnosed. This is a bit confusing because now I've got something to do with your head. Can you add some more clarity to this? Or what can she do to improve this? Getting like a lot of anxiety, and they're showing me pineapple, like cut pineapple chunks. Maybe eating pineapple could be beneficial. I know pineapple, like foods that are sort of like yellow, can sort of help improve the like mind, mood. So that might be in there, like showing me, because they're just showing me like a packet of ready to eat pineapple chunks. So random. So maybe it is something to do with that. Maybe there's something in pineapple that you need, like some sort of nutrient. Can you add in any more to that, please? Seeing like a big wave, like a tidal wave. And water always symbolises emotions to me. So, but they're just showing me one wave, like this huge wave that's just curling over. It's not a moving image, it's still. So there's possibly an emotion. It's just come to me. It's just like boom. Um, there's an emotion that's trapped in your body that's causing the problem. Like a huge trapped emotion. Is there any more you can add to that? No. So, all right. So, whatever your health issue is, you've got like, there might be inflammation, you might be getting pain somewhere. When trapped emotions sort of accumulate in our body, which happens like very regularly, like a lot of the time we sort of hold back the tears, don't we? And tears are our body's way of releasing emotions. Like again, water is emotion, and they're making me release. Yeah, see, when I do Reiki, I I get like wind coming up, like burping a lot. So it happened a couple of times then. So there's definitely something that you need releasing, like an old trapped emotion that's just built up and built up and built up over time. And this can cause a lot of like trouble in your body. Um, Not just pain and stuff like that, but I mean, it just has a huge overall knock-on effect. It affects your mental health because you've got unprocessed emotions there. Depending on where it is, it's just going to cause havoc on that sort of part of the body, wherever it is. So yeah, I'm going to leave that one there. You're going to have to just process your emotions maybe get some energy work done to help release it. Yeah, that's up to you. Like, put some thought into that and let us know if that resonates. But I'm going to message you back now after this video, actually. I think that's it. Wow. All right, guys, it's been nearly an hour, like films for like 50 minutes. So I'll cut out all the gaps and what have you. But I hope that resonates anyway. If it's not literal interpretation, it's symbolic, so that there's something in there for you to unpack. I'm afraid I can't do that for you because I'm not delving into like your personal problems in your life. I'm not that sort of healer. I don't, you know, you're going to respect it more if you unpack what they're saying. And to be fair, I just simply just don't want to pry on other people's problems and stuff. It's not right. But anyway, yeah, let us know what you think in the comments anyway. But bless you guys. Have the most amazing Christmas for you and your families, all right? God bless. Love you loads. Peace.